Imagine opening a highly anticipated modern cafe on a busy street in Kuala Lumpur. The doors unlock, machines are primed, and foot traffic pours past. Who exactly is your ideal customer? If your instinct is to say everyone, you are already on a path to failure. Modern consumer markets are wildly diverse. Pedestrians passing your cafe have entirely different budgets, daily routines, and dietary needs. No single business possesses the capital, inventory, or operational bandwidth to serve all of those conflicting demands at once. This diagram illustrates the structural solution to that chaos, the STP framework. Raw market data enters the top and passes through strict analytical filters, segmentation, targeting, differentiation, and positioning, until a clearly defined, highly competitive product emerges at the bottom. Before you can successfully build or sell anything, you have to run your broad market through these filters to isolate the specific group of people who actually want what you do best. The first stage is market segmentation. This is the systematic process of taking a massive, heterogeneous crowd and dividing it into distinct subsets of buyers who share similar needs and behaviors. You start by carving up the map and the census data. A retailer selling heavy winter coats will ignore a tropical climate entirely. A luxury property developer will focus solely on high-income executives, filtering out budget-conscious students. But demographics alone are incomplete. Two consumers of the exact same age, gender, and income bracket can have entirely conflicting values. Psychographic and behavioral segmentation divide those identical demographics based on lifestyle choices, deeply held beliefs, and brand loyalty. To be useful, any segment you create must pass 5 strict tests. It must be measurable in size, accessible to your marketing channels, substantial enough to turn a profit, differentiable from other groups, and actionable, meaning your specific company actually has the capacity to serve it. Segmentation is an analytical framework. It organizes the noise of the broad public into distinct and predictable groupings. Once you have your datasets, you move to market targeting. This requires evaluating the growth potential and structural attractiveness of each segment to decide which exact subset of buyers you are going to pursue. It is a common mistake to assume the largest segment is the best target. The economy car market is massive and growing, but a brand like Mercedes-Benz actively ignores it. They lack the low-cost manufacturing infrastructure to compete on volume, so they target the smaller, higher-margin luxury segment where they hold a structural advantage. Mega corporations handle this through differentiated marketing. A company like Procter & Gamble doesn't formulate one generic laundry detergent. They engineer dozens of specific variations of Tide to simultaneously target different segments based on water temperature, skin sensitivity, and fabric care. Smaller companies rely on concentrated marketing, or niche targeting. Instead of fighting for a tiny fraction of the broad apparel market, a brand like Stance focuses exclusively on capturing a dominant share of a highly specific niche: premium, colorful socks. By ignoring generic apparel and executing entirely within that narrow lane, Stance built enough cultural weight to become the official on-court sock of the NBA. Targeting is a deliberate calculation. You are evaluating the competitive arena and choosing the exact fight your company is actually equipped to win. You have your audience. The final step relies on a dual mechanism. Differentiation is how you engineer actual superior value into your product. Positioning is how you communicate that difference, so it occupies a clear, distinct place in your customer's mind. This matrix maps out the core value propositions available to a brand. By plotting price against benefits, a company can locate its specific competitive advantage. On one extreme, you have the more for more premium strategy, charging higher prices for luxury goods. Directly opposite is the same for less strategy, where discount retailers offer standard goods at lower price points. The most desirable and notoriously difficult proposition is more for less. Delivering superior benefits at a lower price requires highly specialized supply chains and deep operational efficiency. All of this distills into the formal positioning statement formula. For a specific target market, your brand provides a main benefit, backed by a clear reason to believe. But the communication is useless if the physical reality of the product fails to deliver. In 1985, Coca-Cola altered the classic flavor profile that millions of consumers expected in order to chase a sweeter alternative. The immediate rejection of New Coke proved that you cannot position a product as a beloved classic while simultaneously changing the formula that earned it that title. Let's run a hypothetical modest fashion startup in Malaysia through the entire funnel. First, the broad clothing market is segmented demographically for young women and psychographically for urban professionals seeking modern modesty. Knowing they cannot outspend major fast fashion retailers, the startup targets a concentrated niche: high-quality, breathable fabrics for daily office wear. They differentiate by engineering a proprietary wrinkle-resistant fabric. Their positioning statement locks it in. For urban Muslim professionals, we provide effortless all-day elegance because our proprietary fabric requires zero ironing. The framework keeps the strategy focused. Demographics are not behavioral habits. Chasing everyone drains limited capital. Positioning is a structural blueprint, not a billboard slogan. Effective marketing requires discipline. It means abandoning the instinct to sell everything to anyone who will listen, finding the exact customer you are built to serve, and giving them a specific, compelling reason to choose your product.